Well, hello there, everyone. How you doing this fantastic Friday? It's July 28th, year 2023. My goodness, where does time go? Seemed like it was just June, and then just January before that, and 1999. No, 1999 was what? Many years ago. Anyway, shout out David, my new friend in Panama. Chris, my new friend in Miami. Yeah. Chris, it was great talking to you there. Thanks so much for the great conversations and the food and drinks you brought us. We really appreciate that. I'll see you again one day. And it's great talking about investing with you. And David, great conversation we had in Panama. It's great talking to you. I wish I was still in Panama like you are right now, I do believe. You got a few more days there. So it's great talking to you. And as I told both you gentlemen, my email address is always in the description below. I'm behind on emails, as I always am. But feel free to stay in touch with me, and maybe I'll see one or both of you in Panama again one day. So anyway, with that being said, I'm Mazske Finance. I'm currently back in South Florida. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, and I am not a doctor or a nutritionist. All right, now I'm just back from a kind of quick trip to Panama. I was also in Miami prior to flying to Panama. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Panama again, okay? I think I got a playlist, I'll double check, on videos where I've talked about Panama. And I know I got some pictures, I believe, in some of the videos on Panama. I did give you a little background on me in case you're new to my channel. Thank you for all new subscribers. I did spend close to 2.5 years living in the country of Panama back in 1988 through 1990. The missus, we've been married now 33 years, and she is from the country of Panama. Okay, so we have connections to Panama. So as the years went on, we've been back to visit different times. I remember 1999, we spent 3 weeks there. Both my boys were born by then. And we took both boys there in 1999 for about 3.5 weeks, almost an entire month. Saved up leave as my job as a cop and took almost a month off and went to the country of Panama. Okay, I've been back. I was back prior to that when my oldest son was born in the early 90s. We took him back when he was a baby. Went back in 1999, and as the 2000 came along, my money was tight, but we went back. And then as the more recent years, we've taken more frequent trips going back. Okay, the country has changed a lot since I was stationed there. When I was stationed there, it was a great place to be. Manuel Noriega was in charge. He was a dictator. I did have my run-ins with the PDF, the Panamanian Defense Forces, back then, but that's another story to be told at a different time. But I really, truly enjoyed my 2.5 years there. I had a motorcycle. I traveled throughout Panama City. I traveled into the interior a bit. Lived, worked, played. Had fun. Okay, as I grew up and got older, I had children and worked as a police officer. Gone back over the years, I have watched Panama change. When I was there in 1999, I did a tour of some of the military bases. The United States government was turning the Panama Canal back over to Panama December 31st, 1999. And all the U.S. military was going to be pulling out. All the bases would be turned back over to Panama. And it was weird because every single base was like a ghost town. There was usually some type guards, Army, Navy, somebody at a gate. I was allowed to go on some bases. I couldn't go on some other bases. But I did drive around and chat with a few military folks and saw what was happening. And it was the question in the air, the speculation from my perspective of the United States was Panama was going to flounder and fail because the Americans, we were pulling out. Panama can't run the canal as good as we did, right? Wrong. Panama has seemingly flourished in a way. The Panama Canal has grown. It's now bigger than it was before because the world's making bigger boats than they did before. They've underwent an expansion project, so they did make it bigger. Panama does use the American dollar as their currency. Panama City is a modern looking city, but yet it's in a foreign country. So if you're an American, like a lot of you watching my channel might be Americans or Canadians or somebody, it's not an American city, it's a foreign country city, but it's a big city. I think it's roughly 3 million people. Who knows how many tourists are in Panama on any given day. You have many skyscrapers, tall buildings. You have a financial district. You have a banking district. You have parks. You have ocean view condos. While we were there on this trip, we stayed at a Holiday Inn. It was on the backside of it was on the property of what used to be Fort Clayton, an Army base. When I was stationed in Panama, I bought a motorcycle from a guy in the Army on that base. I don't remember how I got to his house. Probably gave me his address, and I took a taxi cab as my guess. But I bought a motorcycle from him. I don't remember his name. I had a Suzuki GS 400. That's what I had. And anyway, that Holiday Inn Express was located on what used to be Fort Clayton base. The houses and the buildings there looked like the base. You still had it's nice. It's not like it used to be. It's different. But the Holiday Inn, and on a past trip, I have other videos about staying in the Hilton on Avenida Balboa, and I'll stay there again. I love that hotel. Holiday Inn Express, I had a great time there. One thing with those two hotels, they give you breakfast. It's not like in the United States when you get a continental breakfast, because the breakfast was included, at least for me, it was included in my room for both those hotels. In the United States, when you get a free breakfast, it's kind of fake food in a way, and it can be tasty at times. They add chemicals in it. It's tasty. But in Panama, they got fresher food, better quality food. They have fresh fruit cut up. They have just better quality cooked food. I can go on and on about the quality of food, okay? Both in the Hilton, both in the Holiday Inn Express. Both. I did have dinner in the Holiday Inn Express. There's a restaurant just down the street from there. I had some meals in there. In the hotel dining place, we would sit by the window and we could look out the window and you'd see the Panama Canal just over there. And depends on eating breakfast, we would see boats going through. Because Panama, they say the canal, it has a bit of a drought right now. Not as much rain as what they normally get. Plus, the ships are bigger than they used to be, and they need more water to go through there. So what they're doing now is, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, they stop allowing boats to go through the canal up until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we would eat breakfast 6:30, 7-ish, whatever time we got down there. And we would see a boat usually transiting the canal over there. And then if we ate dinner there, which I think we ate all our dinners in the Holiday Inn, we would watch boats. We'd see, still daylight, we'd see the boats. If it was night and dark, we'd see the lights of the boats. I think on any given day, 30 to 40 boats may transit the Panama Canal. All right. On this trip, it was quick. I was in Panama City the entire time. I did not go up into the interior. I did complete my pensionado visa. I got my permanent visa. 6 months ago, I had gone there and got my temporary visa. 6 months ago, I had gone there and got my temporary driver's license. So after I got my permanent pensionado visa, I did get my permanent driver's license. When I say permanent, it's permanent, but yet it expires, I think, in 5 years. It's raining out here. I'm in South Florida. It's raining. Just like it was rained a lot in Panama. It's rainy season. So anyway, I got those two things done. And if you have never gone to immigration in a foreign country, it's an experience. Okay, I've been there a couple times. It's an experience. I do have to get what's called a cedula. I'm not required to get a cedula, I don't think. I don't think it's mandatory for somebody to buy a visa, I don't think. I could be wrong with that. But I know I can't get it for 15 days after getting the permanent visa. And I think I was told by my lawyer, I have up to a year to get it, or if I didn't get it, I'd have to refile paperwork. So I'll be back down there at some point to get my cedula. Cedula, what it is, it's a national ID card. All Panamanians, once they turn 18 years of age, are required by law to have a national ID card. Okay, that way, it's been like that since I was stationed there. It's been like that for a long time. They always have to have an ID card. So if they're out and about and a police officer questions them, everyone's required to have their ID card on them. In the United States of America, we're free. We don't have to do that stuff, right? A lot of Americans, as a cop, I pull them over. Where's your driver's license? Oh, it's at home. Yeah. Aren't you supposed to have it with you? Well, I can give you my social. You can run me. Because they can do what they want, right? Right, yeah. So anyway, Panama's different. Panama does more or less follow the rules that they have. Rules may change monthly, weekly, but they follow the rules for the most part. Um, there's things they do things that happen in the country I may not like that much. There's things I love that happen in the country, just like in the United States. Anytime, if you're in the United States of America nowadays, if you go to some event, a sporting event, a concert, a venue, a school, a park, a congressional softball game, whatever you may go to, you always got to be aware there could be a shooter there, right? Shootings are taking place everywhere, it seems like. That doesn't happen in Panama. There are guns in Panama, but not like there are in this country. You do not have shootings like that there. It's a safer country. I feel safer in Panama than I do in the United States. Drivers are a lot of Americans say Panamanians drive crazy, especially in the city. Man, I don't see that. It's a lot of traffic in Panama City. It's a lot of traffic. If you've never been there, I encourage you not to rent a vehicle. I encourage you to take Ubers or taxi cabs or buses. Okay, let them drive for you. Because number one, you don't know the streets. You don't know the customs of how they drive. You may not know how to read street signs in Spanish. Okay. Every trip I've been to Panama, I have rented a vehicle, except for this one. This trip, I took Ubers the entire time. All right. But driving is driving. Okay. Once you leave the city, if you are traveling there as a tourist and you want to go to the interior, you can rent a vehicle outside the city, probably for cheaper than you can in the city, number one. And number two, it's easier to drive outside the city. You still have towns with traffic and whatnot, but it's easier to drive. So if you really want to drive, I encourage you wait till you're outside of Panama City to rent a vehicle. If you rent at Tucumán Airport, like I've always used to do, you got to drive through the city. I like driving through the city, but I don't like sitting in traffic jams. But I like some of the roads how they go. But if you've never been there, don't do that. Okay, there are restaurants galore all throughout Panama. There are little fondas. There are a little place you can get lunch. You can get lunch for $5 if you want. The typical Panamanian food like rice and beans, meat. Okay, you can go to other restaurants. You can go to nicer restaurants. When I ate at the Holiday Inn, they cooked the food. I had pumpkin squash soup with basil, with an essence of basil. I had two of the nights there, they had buffets with fish and chicken and beef and veggies and salads. The other restaurant I was at, great menu. I had, what did I eat there? I forget what I ate there. Good food. I got natural juice drinks at times, kind of like smoothies, but just fruit smoothies, and so on and so on. So anyway, Panama is a great place to be. There's another YouTube channel that they talk 100% about Panama, pretty much. They interview a lot of expats on there. The lady in charge of it, she has a lot of videos on there herself. It's called Panama Relocation Tours. I encourage you if you're interested in Panama, I encourage you to check out that channel. They will give much more information than I give on my channel. Okay, much more. They also have a website, Panama Relocation Tours. I have no affiliation with them. Okay, I get nothing from them. What I did get from them, and I'll tell you what I got from them. I bought a online Panama Relocation Tour guide. It was something like $595, I think. And I bought that for a couple of reasons. One, that guide to me is invaluable. In that guide, they give recommendations for attorneys, lawyers. Probably for half a dozen of them, the ones that they vetted. They put down what they charge and whatnot. And I used one of them. They have information about everything. Everything. Why try to reinvent the wagon wheel? You get that guide and it tells everything. They also give tours. They give group tours. They give individual tours. They have information in the guide if you want to do a self-guided tour. Okay. So the guide's the cheapest thing to buy, but if you sort of. But once you buy the guide, if you want to do an individual tour of one area, if you want to get a tour just of Panama City, you want to get a tour of Coronado or Chame or Rio Hato or Boquete, Chiriquí, Volcan, almost El Valle, almost any area, you can hire an individual tour guide. They've been vetted. You pay them directly when you're there. It kind of goes through Panama Relocation Tours. They charge anywhere $250, $300 for a day, something like that. If you do multiple days, you can negotiate with them. I guess, where they tell you what their price is. If you want to do a group tour, I haven't gone on one of the group tours, but I know a lot of expats have. You fly into Panama City, they pick you up at the airport, they take you to the hotel, whatever hotel they start at. Whenever you come in, they have the morning they start, breakfast meeting. All meals for that week are covered, all lodging is covered. They will take you, I believe, around Panama City. The tour might get tweaked at times, but they'll take you like around Panama City, they'll take you up to the Coronado area. You'll spend the night in there. Sometimes they show you rental property. Sometimes they take you to restaurants where expats are hanging out and you'll meet them. But then they go up through Panama, up towards Costa Rica, and they'll stay in different places. I forget where they say, Santiago, I think, and go up to Chiriquí. And then basically when you finish the group tour at the end of the week, on the last day, you get on an airplane in David, the city of David. If you speak English, it's spelled like David. City of David, they fly you from David back to Panama City, where then you have already purchased your plane ticket to fly out at whatever time and to whatever destination you are flying to. Or some folks go on the tours, stay another week or 2 or 3. If you are an American and you want to go to Panama with your U.S. passport and your American driver's license, and I'm not a lawyer, okay, I'm just telling you from what I know. It could change at any time. What you can do is you can go into the country of Panama for a maximum of 6 months, okay, with your U.S. passport and your American driver's license. But you can only drive legally in Panama for 90 days, okay, which is weird. You can stay 6 months, but you can only drive for 90 days, okay. So if you're an American, maybe just stay a maximum 90 days, unless you don't want to drive. Because if you don't want to drive, you have taxis everywhere. Okay? You do not have Ubers everywhere. Ubers are throughout Panama City. They'll take you from Panama City to other places, but they're not, they might be up in Boquete. I'm not sure. I don't think they're in the Coronado area yet. A lot of expats go to Coronado. I don't think they're there yet. I imagine one day somebody will. I don't know why they're not. They'll probably start there. Okay. So anyway, you can stay, like I said, 6 months, drive for 90 days. If there are a lot of Canadians who are snowbirds to Panama. There's some airline in Canada that will fly directly to an airfield in Rio Hato, which is near Chame, Coronado, it's that general area. And Canadians will fly down there. And I know some will stay for 4 months, 5 months. Snowbirds, just like Americans come to work. Everybody comes here to South Florida in the wintertime. Some folks go to Panama in the wintertime. Okay, stay there 3, 4, 5 months, however long they can stay. Whatever, depends on where they're from. You know, every country has different. Panama has different laws for them. Maybe they stay 90 days or 180 days or 120, whatever they stay. Okay. So anyway, Panama's a great place to visit. If you've never been, I encourage you to go. But talk to someone who's knowledgeable about Panama. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. If you Google it, you know, international living in other places might rank Panama number 1 to retire to, or they might rank it number 2 or 3. It might change as the years go on. But don't just jump ship and go somewhere to live without doing your own due diligence. Like with investing, do your own due diligence. If you think you want to live in Panama, go visit Panama, take a tour. You know, you don't have to go through Panama relocation tours, but in my humble opinion, I think they're the best ones to go through because they don't sell you anything. Okay, they do not. You pay for the tour. They do not sell you anything. They might recommend real estate agents. They might recommend this, they might recommend that. They don't get any kind of kickback from it. They just give you the information. Folks, they have vetted, okay, and you can use it or don't. There's a service there. They don't have 911 in Panama like they do here, but there's some, I think 2 or 3 different companies that they will tell you about, and you can subscribe to them. Maybe it's $100 a year, and if you have any problem, you have a car accident or something breaks down, you can call one of them, the number, they always answer, and they will coordinate to get you whatever you need, okay? So where there's a will, there's a way. There's a great system there once you learn it. Or you could be like me, you know, I'm comfortable to go there. Me and my missus, we could just go there and just live there. But at the same time, it's nice to I like running into I like running into people that I don't know. And I met some great Panamanians on this last trip. I met some great Colombians that I had conversations with. I met Americans. David is an American who lived in Panama as a kid, graduated from high school in Panama, all those years. And he goes back to Panama every year. And we had a nice conversation. All right, he's now a teacher in the United States. Told me where he's going to be teaching at, up in a cold part of the country. All right, so anyway, starting tomorrow or whenever I make my next video, I will talk more about investing. But investing is what gave me the opportunity to do this. You do not have to be wealthy to retire to Panama. But if you want to do what I do and have a pensionado visa, you do have to have a guaranteed income of at least $1,000 a month if you're single, $1,200 a month, or $1,300 if you're married, and that can be Social Security. It cannot be an annuity. It cannot be a 401k. It has to be guaranteed income from a pension or some Social Security or something like that. I have a pension from the state of Virginia. Okay, that's guaranteed income for life. It says on my statement, I get it for life. So I can get the pensionado visa. That pensionado visa can give me discounts. Okay. Sometimes I'll give you an example. I went to the Miraflores Locks on Panama Canal. It's a visitor center there. They got an IMAX movie there. You can see the locks in operation with the boat going through if you get there at the right time of day, either early in the morning or after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But the place will be packed. If you are a tourist, the ticket price will be $17. So with tax, it's like $17.50. If you are a resident of Panama, $3. Okay, different places will do that. A zoo might do that. Different places. If you're a resident of Panama, you pay a cheaper price. If you're a tourist, you pay a higher price. So when I went there, I have the pensionado visa. That should give me a discount on something. So when I asked about getting the pensionado visa discount, the girl working there was like, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm 55. She said, "Well, you can't get that till you're 60. I said, "But I have it." I haven't. She's like, let me ask someone else about this. So she walks away and she comes back and she said, "It doesn't say pensionado on there." Panama sometimes changes their cards. My card, it's a newer type card. It has a QR code on there and it has a code like it's 5-digit letters in the code. That code says I'm pensionado visa. They might change, like the government might change how they do things, but they apparently don't tell everyone out there about it. So anyway, the girl told me she can't give me the pensionado discount, but she could give me the resident charge of $3. I was like, that's cool. $3. I mean, in the United States of America, I can't go in any place for $3. Okay, but the missus with me, she's a Panamanian resident, and for the discount, the pensionado discount, it's also called jubilado. All Panamanians, as they get a certain age, can get the jubilado discount. Females at the age of 55 can get the jubilado discount. Panamanian men can get the discount at age 60. I'm not 60 yet. I'm a man, so they wouldn't give it to me because they don't know about the code for my pensionado visa. But the missus is Panamanian, so they gave her the discount. So her ticket was $1.50. So I paid $3. She paid $1.50. It was $4.50. Where if two Americans went there, it'd be what? $17.50, $35. Okay, it's just an example. Restaurants, airplane tickets, all entertainment, they all give discounts. Something with the taxes, something with property taxes gives discounts with that visa. But yet, even if you don't get the pensionado visa, Panama's cheaper than the States. It's cheaper than Canada. So you can, even if you don't get a discount, it's still cheaper to live there. But if you want to live there expensive, you can go to restaurants and you can go to stores where stuff will be American style prices. Okay? But if you want to live cheap, it's possible to live cheap. You can get rentals. You can find them as cheap as $250, $300 a month. Okay? It might not be where you want to live at, but they got them. You might be able to find something decent in parts of the country, very nice, like decent, for $500 a month. It might be on a beach. It might be something like that. But if you go to one of the popular tourist destinations where expats go to, Then if you want a house or a condo on or close to the beach, you might be looking at 1,200, 1,500, 1,800, 2,200, maybe going all the way up to 3,500 in some, like gated type neighborhoods. Okay, so you got all price range. But if you want to go to Panama and live cheap, you can find places in Panama City probably $50 a month. Okay, but I don't want to live in places like that, but they're there. So, but if you want to find just a decent place in the mountains, you can get a condo on the beach, $1,200 a month. Maybe your room's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, because you're paying the low end price. But it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be fixed up. You're on the beach, So, there's a lot of options there. Panama can fit a lot of different budgets. If you're wealthy, you can be a little wealthier. You can live, if you want to live the luxurious lifestyle in Panama and you got some income coming in, go stay at the Hilton. The Hilton's a little more luxurious than the Holiday Inn, or go stay at the Holiday Inn. It's luxury. They gave me the suite. My room was free with my credit card. They treat us like we're royalty. They're extremely nice to us there. First time going there, they never met us before, but they're extremely nice to us there. At the Hilton, they're extremely nice to us there. When I stay at a hotel in the United States, sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're, here's your key. They're not mean, they're not rude, but it's like there's a difference. It's just a difference. Okay, maybe it's because I'm an American. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why it is. I think they're that way to everybody. Okay, it's a pleasant country. People are friendly to each other. They're not out there hurting each other. Okay, and that's what life is about. We shouldn't be hurting each other. We got to help each other. We got to take care of each other. And let's teach everyone how to invest so everyone can live just a slightly better life. So with that being said, this is a long video. So have a great day. Have a great weekend. And email me if you so desire, and I'll get back to you eventually. Have a great day. Mazke's signing out.